Okay, this tutorial is based on dividing fractions. This is a 6th grade task here in Florida. The standard for this, I'm unaware right now at this moment, but it is a standard in 6th grade. So I'm just going over basic concepts of how to divide fractions. Let's say we are dividing 5/8, dividing by 3/4. Okay, so typically dividing fractions is pretty easy, comparatively speaking. Most students would rather multiply and divide fractions than they would add and subtract them. When you add and subtract them, you have to find a common denominator. For dividing, we don't do that. Very similar to multiplying. The only difference is we do what we call keep, change, flip. What we do is we keep the same. We keep the first fraction. We change the division to a multiplication, so you're going to change that to multiplication, and then what you can do for the second fraction is what we call flip it. We're going to flip it. So you'll hear that a lot. You'll hear keep, change, flip. So we keep the first fraction, change division to multiplication, and then we're going to flip 3/4 to make it 4/3, which is basically the technical term for that would be the reciprocal of 3/4 is 4/3. Okay, so, and that's it. You just multiply straight across, and you can multiply straight across. That would be 20 over 24. The issue there, though, is we want to simplify this before we multiply it across. Okay, it makes life a little bit easier when we do that. So 3 and 5 have no common factor, so there's nothing we can't simplify that here. We could simplify the 4 and 8. 4 can go into 8 2 times. 4 can go into itself once. So let's go and divide this by 4 and divide this by 4. So 4 divided by 4 is 1. 4 into 8, 2 times. And then you just multiply straight across. 5 times 1 is 5. 2 times 3 is 6. And then you're done. And that's simplified. 5, 6. And again, we simplify so it's easy to understand. Okay? It's the same. This is the same as it would be if we just left it alone. 20 over 24. Okay? Again, 20 over 24 simplified would be 5, 6. You would still have to divide this by, in this situation, we divide this by 4 to get 5, divide this by 4 to get 6. Or you can simplify early, divide this by 4 to get 1, divide this by 4 to get 2. And you'll end up with the same answer anyways. Okay, so that's one basic. Let's do another one. So a typical problem could be, like, let's say 9/10 and divide by, let's say 1/2. Okay. You would keep the first fraction, change the division symbol to multiplication, flip the second fraction to 2 over 1 instead of 1 over 2. And then you can either multiply straight across, get 18 over 10, and then simplify, or we can simplify now. 2 can go into 10 5 times. It can go into itself once. 9 times 1 is 9. 5 times 1 is 5. And you can leave as an improper fraction. Preferably, we would like to change this to a mixed number, right? So this is improper, meaning that the numerator is greater than the denominator. 5 can go into 9 one time. 4 is left over, right? So 1 remainder 4. So it's 1 is the whole number. 4 is your new numerator, and you keep the same denominator. So it's 1 and 4/5. Okay. Now, how do we divide fractions that may include maybe, let's say, mixed numbers, or let's say whole numbers? So, in an effort to keep this tutorial a little bit, smaller, not too long, let's take a number like, let's say 8. 8 divided by, let's say, 1/2. Okay, 8 divided by 1/2. Now, 8 is not a fraction, so in order to make this a fraction, we're going to put it over 1. So 8 over 1 divided by, and then what you want to do is you're going to take this, much like when we take an improper fraction, change it to a mixed number. Now we're going to go backwards in order to solve this. So 2 times 1 is 2. 2 plus 1 is 3. So 3 over 2. It's important that you go ahead and change both of those before you do the keep, change, flip. You don't want to change that and do the keep, change, flip all at the same time. It's too complex. You can make a mistake. It's much easier to just rewrite the whole number as over 1, rewrite the mixed number as an improper fraction, and then we'll rewrite it one more time with keep, change, flip. So we're going to keep 8 over 1, changes to multiplication, and then flip it, find the reciprocal of 3 over 2, which is 2 over 3, and then we're going to multiply. Now there's no common factor of 3 and 8, no common factor of 1 and 2. We're just going to multiply straight across. This is 16 over 3. And now we got to go back to an actual mixed number like this over here. 3 can go to 16 5 times. 1 left over, so that's going to be your numerator, and your denominator is 3. So 5 and 1/3. That's it. So this is just a basic tutorial on dividing fractions. Hope you enjoy. God bless.